Hello, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching this video from and the time you're watching. Thank you very much for coming back. My name is Triza Overcomer and we got a very interesting video. Sit down, relax and enjoy. So today we are going to do a video and it's part of what I did in my previous video, and because some of you wanted to know more about revenge, and as I said earlier or in my previous video, I said that women, and especially Kenyan married women, because I'm part of them, we do not cheat. Did you get that right? Yeah. For Kenyan married women, we do not cheat. We only support our husbands. So today I have my guest who will take us through, and I know we are all going to learn again. So karibu sana, welcome.
Thank you so much, Teresa. It is such an honor to be back here yet again. And I do not take it for granted. It is always a pleasure getting to talk to you. Yes.
Welcome, welcome. So guys, let's welcome our guest Lucy. Ta 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 ta. Karibu. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. So today we are talking about revenge. I don't have a good what to call it, because when we are doing this, and don't get me wrong, I am not saying this is what I do, but because I have talked with so many women, you know, my age mates, others are younger than me, others are older than me, and I know when somebody do something wrong and you feel like you're hurt, it is not everybody who got the grace to leave everything to God. So we all handle it in the best way we feel like we are going to heal. So today, Lucy, I want us to learn more about revenge. So feel free to talk about anything
And
everything. I know we are going to learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. I've had the pleasure of interacting with several couples, and it is always a great moment to get to hear what people are really. It's not really a great moment, but so humbling. It's so humbling to get to hear the experiences that people are going through, and to know some of the inactions, and the steps they have taken in their walk in life. And what I have come to learn from all the interactions that I have had is that indeed there is a lot of strife that is going on in the marriage institution. There are so many areas where people are not finding common ground. There are so many areas where people are not in agreement. There are so many things that people find themselves really at crossroads, and they don't know what to do. And majority of the time I see couples making decisions in a way to resolve some of the issues that they're having as a couple, and it is not surprising that in nearly 99% of the cases, somebody has hatched a plan for revenge. Somebody has hatched an action that will ensure that the other party really gets to feel pain for the pain that they put them through. It is not surprising to see that indeed there is a lot of pain going on in a marriage.
Sure.
So I wish to give you practical examples of what people find themselves going through. A lady will come to you and tell you that she's totally troubled, and she's got no idea how she's supposed to handle her husband. And when you take time to understand what the issue is, in most cases you hear stories like this guy who set off very well and who had a great relationship for almost like a whole year, but it is now almost 6 months, and several things are happening. And among the things that are happening, that this person doesn't come home in good time. Majority of the time, they're coming home late. Maybe in the wee hours of the morning. This person is not providing food. This person has no time for me. This person has totally relegated their responsibility to the wind. They don't seem to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. And when you dig further to understand what then they have done as a way to try and mitigate the situation, in most cases you would hear somebody say that well, I made a decision, I have found time to start going out at night too. I have found a girl to come take care of the children over the weekend so that I can go out over the weekend. Or I have made a decision to take my children to my relatives so that they can give me enough time to also go out there and find my peace. Or some, in most cases, have made a decision that they're completely leaving the marriage and proceeding back to their home, or those kinds of decisions. And in the case of men, you find that a man would be saying that I am totally disgruntled with what is happening in my relationship. I feel not respected. I feel like I'm not the man in the house. I feel like my place has been taken, and anytime when I'm in this house, I feel that I do not belong. And when you try to understand what actions or what ways or decisions they have made to resolve the situation, you'll find that in most cases this kind of a person is telling you that well, because my spouse does not respect me, I have decided that I am no longer providing food for them. I no longer come home in good time. I take my weekends to go and have my fun. Every action that each and every one of these couples is taking is an action that is not geared towards resolving the problem that they're having, but rather geared towards paying back. You did wrong, and so I'm giving you one other wrong to counter the wrong that you have done. And in majority of the cases, you see a lot of sadness. You see pain. You see that even in the direction that they have taken, in every one of those actions, they are not satisfied. It has not brought them peace. It has not resolved the issues that they're having. It has not made the other party change and become better. So, and that is why eventually they start looking around for hope, for solutions, for a way out, and how they can eventually get their marriage back on track.
Wow.
Yes.
So when they go out there, do they get what they are looking for?
In most cases, what I have found in those decisions that they make, going out there, even getting into other different relationships, I have found in their discussion that they have, I think when they go out in the beginning, they get this feeling like, yes, this is what I wanted. But within a short period of time, they realize that it has not even brought them any peace or hope. It has not resolved anything. They find that what they are looking for, they have not really found. And essentially, they still want to get a way out. Like, how do I deal with this situation that I am in? Whether men or women, in majority of cases, the ones who have decided, for instance, that they will stay the night out. They will go out maybe with other women or with other men. They do it. Like it's somebody who is taking a painkiller to resolve a persistent headache without knowing the source of the headache that they're having. the headache will subside for a while, but it will come back. Yeah, and until you get to the point where this person is ready and willing to go an extra mile and understand the cause of this persistent and recurrent pain, and then come up with a long-lasting solution towards that pain, they'll always find themselves going for that short-term solution. So in essence, the real reason why they are coming back, or the real reason why they are looking for help, is because the way they are countering their problem, or the other decisions that they are making to resolve the current problem, is not in essence resolving that problem. They are not finding themselves much happier. They are not finding like there is hope in the decisions that they are making. They are not even making strides forward. Essentially everything. If it is a man who is moving out, you find that maybe even they are failing in several other responsibilities. There is no, whenever they go back home, there is no peace in that home. If they had a great relationship with the children, that relationship is long gone, because you always spend the day out and the night out, so even your children don't know you anymore. And I mean, it is not working. If it is a woman who is making the decision to also go out there and seek solution, in almost all the cases, they feel cold in the decisions that they have made. They are not satisfied. They feel cheated. They feel, there is something that they are yearning for that has not really, been identified. And that is why they come. Yes.
Now, let me ask. In our previous video, we did, or we covered a topic about forgiveness. Now, when women go out there to revenge, it is something maybe the husband did for the first time. They forgive and give them a benefit of doubt. Then they repeat the same thing. They were forgiven, and it became a trend. They do this, we forgive. They do this, we forgive. They do this, we forgive. Until one day we would just wake up and feel like you're so tired of forgiving. You're so tired of, being that God-fearing woman. You're so tired of leaving everything, to God. And you feel like it is time now you go out there also and have fun or enjoy. Or you go out there to feel how they feel when they go outside. Or what is it that they live in the house and they want to go and do there. Now, what do you say about that?
It's true. Like I already mentioned, you'll find that especially those ones who make decisions to eventually give up hope and go out, they have had several chances of forgiving their spouses. They've had several chances of hoping that there's going to be change. And you will find that eventually they give up hope and they make decisions to go out and find that they could get a solution from somewhere else. But like I said, it really, 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 really matters so much when you say you have forgiven what exactly it is you mean by you have forgiven. If I have forgiven somebody for a wrong that they have done, and this person comes home, and I am persistently I have forgiven them, but I'm persistently reminding them of the very mistake that they did in the first place. Every time they do any other thing that is even unrelated to that, I am persistently reminding them of that action that they did. You see, in essence, I have not forgiven. I am still living in the past. Forgiveness, like we mentioned, is a journey. It is a lifelong journey, because people will keep on making mistakes, and we are called to forbear. Yes, we are called to forbear. So what that means in essence is that in the cases where somebody has forgiven several times and this person has not heeded and has continued in the mistakes that they are doing, I always seek to know the kind of relationship they have had
Sure.
when they say that they have forgiven.
Yeah.
And you will find that somebody who says that they have forgiven another and they have forgiven persistently, when you ask them, for instance, what is the kind of relationship that you're having in the season of forgiveness? Like, for instance, do you communicate well? Do you find time to talk to each other?
Yeah.
Are you being a responsible spouse to your partner? Are you taking up your responsibility well? And you will see that in most of those cases there is something that is still amiss.
Yeah.
It only confirms that the process of forgiveness did not go to the very end. You'll find that in a majority of cases where somebody has had several chances of being forgiven, or says that they have forgiven in several cases.
Yeah.
When you interact with them to know the kind of relationship that they have had during that season of forgiveness, you will hear stories like, but I forgave him, or I forgave her.
Yeah.
But anytime when I come home and I find she's moody, I just choose to go and do my thing. You will find moments where somebody still says that I don't really feel that I should even be preparing food for my spouse during this particular time.
Yeah.
You'll find that in these moments there is still a lot of unspoken feelings. There is something, there is a lot that's still holding on to, and it becomes a basis of some kind of cold war. I have forgiven you, yes, but there are certain aspects in our relationship that are no goes.
Sure.
The way they are communicating, the kinds of actions and that they are taking towards each other, you still find that there's something that is still not working. Let me give a case in point of a lady, I will not mention her name, who called me and told me that she had made a decision to go home and leave their husband for a while to come to terms with the actions that they had done. When she called me when she was at home and I tried to understand where their trouble was coming from, she told me that my husband is an Uber driver. That means he's always out of the house very early in the morning and comes home very late. But in most cases, when things were okay, he would always find time to come home in good time. But when things went sour, he would find that he would not make home in good time. And that this went on persistently, and that they talked about it and they were not making head or tail out of it. And so she made a decision to proceed and go home and let the husband make a decision how he wanted their life as a couple to go on. I sought to know whether, other than coming home late, if there was anything else that was going on in that relationship, if there was more to the reason why this person was coming late. And this lady mentions that the reason why she's disturbed is that she is convinced that the spouse is having a relationship outside the marriage. And I sought to know what is the extent of conviction that she had for her to believe that was the case. I wanted to understand during this period of lateness whether there was certain there was enough reason for her to believe that there was indeed an extramarital relationship going on, or an affair that was going on. And she gave me the indication that she did not have facts whatsoever, but she was just convinced that because he's coming home late, that definitely there was somebody else that was having an affair with the spouse. So I sought to know, in the season of trouble, what was going on during that time. That every time he would arrive at the door, she would start questioning him. Where are you coming from? And what have you been up to? And what do you think I'm made of? And those kinds of questions. And I sought to understand from her.
Yeah.
If you were the one that had been out
Yeah.
on duty and you were coming home,
Yeah.
and the first question your spouse asks you at the door is, where are you coming from? And why this late? What could be your kind of response to this kind of questions? And if it is not just once, you know, it is a persistent way of living.
Yeah.
So I think to some extent she decided to think through some of her actions.
Yeah.
And she made a decision that she was going to go back home. She was going to go seek a moment where they would sit down with the spouse and communicate and really share things out clearly so that she gets to understand and he also gets to understand where each one of them is at.
Yeah.
Well, she went back home and she was very happy in the first few days when she was there. She told me she had come, she had been welcomed home very well. They had had a conversation and it was clear from the conversation that the man was not happy, that she was always disrespecting him in the way she questions him when he comes back home. The time that he is coming back home was always an issue, and he preferred that she would first welcome him home and allow him even to rest, provide a meal if there is one, and then even seek to know how his day was, and not just starting by questioning the lateness. I think they went on like that for about a whole week. And by end of that week towards the weekend, all hell broke loose. And why did that happen? Because in as much as this lady had said that they had gone through a process of forgiveness and that they were starting out afresh, with her taking up her responsibility and the spouse taking up his responsibility, there was something that was still amiss. There are those moments where for one reason or the other, this person will still find themselves coming home late. And the lady would still go back to her old habits. So when forgiveness is incomplete, you do not expect that the other party would read truth in what you did from the first place. So I think the reason why we are struggling and we are grappling in many of these marriages and going back to a problem that would have easily been resolved is because we are not genuinely forgiving our spouses. We are not genuinely doing the right thing. We are you know, we are like putting a bandage on a wound and expecting it to be healed. Instead of doing everything possible to heal the wound and then move on.
That's a very good point. But now, in a scenario like this one, where either a man or a woman or any other person will be doing something and they know I will do this and I'll go back to this person and I apologize. You know, when you get used to somebody, you know their ways of handling issues. So you know, like, I'll do this and this is what will happen. You know, I will insult my husband and he will get mad at me, and then I will apologize and he will forgive me. You see? So every time I'll be doing something wrong, knowing that it will
be forgiven.
Exactly. So sometimes even this forgiving thing doesn't make sense. Yes, because you'll do this because I forgive you. You do this because I forgive you. So when forgiving, you know, when forgiving becomes too much, it doesn't make sense anymore. Because you just do that. You did that because you knew that you come and tell me what I want to hear, and I forgive you. So even when I say I forgive you, in my mind, in my heart, I'll not be forgiving you. Because it is not, we are all human beings. It is not easy to forget, even when we forgive. the only thing we do, and especially if I offend you and I want you to forget about what I did, and at least, to how do I put this? If
To get over with it.
to get over with it, it is to make sure that I don't repeat what I did. You understand? So when we say forgiving, there is no way you will do this to me today. You apologize, I forgive you, you repeat the same thing. I will remember the first time. And then instead of having the forgiving heart, the bitterness will start again, and the first wound will become fresh. How about that?
Well,
Now, for those people who just
find
do,
themselves.
who find themselves forgiving, and then the same thing is done unto them. And now, for those, what do you tell these people who would do this intentionally? They know what they are doing, because they know they will come, pretend, even cry. Because you know those people who will even cry to show you how serious. Do you know how I take it?
Yeah, it is very bad.
Yeah, I take it like you offended me, you wronged me.
Intentionally.
Yeah, the first time you wanted me to feel bad, but the way I forgive you, you came back to me because it didn't hit well. So you came to ask for forgiveness so that you can hit me well. Yeah, that is how I take it. It's like the first one was not enough.
All right.
Yes.
I hear you when you say that, and it is such a painful thing for somebody to have to go through the same thing over and over
It's very
and
painful.
over and over again.
Very, very painful.
And coming from the knowledge of God,
Yeah.
even when we are told that we're supposed to forbear, implying that somebody will keep doing wrongs.
Yeah.
It is not supposed to be that the very same mistake that somebody did is the same thing that they're doing,
Yeah.
Like if it is an issue of an affair, then it shouldn't be the same thing that we are dealing with the next time.
Yeah.
If I'm going to forgive you, I should be forgiving you for something that is totally different. But now there's something that I want you to understand.
Yeah.
That before people get to a point where they are having those kinds of persistent wrongs, that they keep doing that wrong thing, it is very, very important that you look at the whole picture of your marriage, the two of you together, because I do not believe that people just wake up and start doing one persistent wrong every other time. There is always something behind the back that is the reason behind why somebody would keep on doing one thing and keep on doing the same thing without having to change genuinely. These are very good reasons. Some of those people, it could be that that is the nature of their lineage. Like it is a kind of an altar in their family. You see, you find that something that you have dealt with, it keeps on recurring and it keeps on recurring without change. You need to dig deeper and get to understand where that is coming from, because people do not like to have to deal with the same thing every other time. So when you do a scan of the whole situation that you are going through, it is good to get to the bottom of it. Know what are the contributing factors. Well, so it is not normal for one wrong to be recurring every other time. It is good to take a whole scan of whatever situation you are in and understand the root cause of that situation. For example, if you are married in a family where the father-in-law, for example, is a polygamous man, the brothers are polygamous men, the grandfathers were polygamous men. If that is the kind of family you are married in, then you need to know and understand that you are married in a family where there exists a strong altar of polygamy. And until you resolve that kind of situation, it is impossible for you to run away from it, because it will always speak louder than your own thoughts and imagination.
Wait. Hey.
If you are married in a family where people are batterers,
Yeah.
in the entire lineage you hear of people who have battered the other and battered the other.
Yeah.
It is very good for you to understand the root cause of the problem.
Wow.
Yeah. So until you get to that root, it is not possible to say that I forgave and this person keeps on doing the same thing and then you are satisfied that that is the end of the problem that you're having. The end should come from the root cause of the problem, and now you resolve a problem with the root in mind, and then you come up with very clear strategies in how you're going to deal with the problem that you're having. For I know that it is possible to come out of whatever pit or whatever hole that you find yourself in, but only if you are using the right ammunition, if you are putting the right strategies, if you're having the right plans, if you are working in using the right weapons to fight the trouble that you find yourself in.
Wow. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lucy. And I feel like something you've just mentioned about altars. I think that is a whole topic on its own. Because there are some things I would like to hear, or I would like us to get deeper, because we are somewhere and maybe we are fighting some evil spirits that we do not know, that we should know, and we know the grounds, so that we know how to approach them.
True.
So I'm feeling like this is something we should do. Like it should be a topic on its own.
Very much.
And I would love to learn so much about altars.
Altars is a long and wide subject.
Yeah.
And it honestly requires time on its own. So when you get to a point where you find that whatever you are going through in your marriage is something that is cyclical, it is recurrent, it is something that is not going anywhere. It could be drunkenness, a drunkard who one time is sober for like a period of 1 month, and the next few months they relapse. You know, a person who is in drug addiction, a person, I mean, there are very many things that are going on in marriages. So whatever it is that you are experiencing, if it is something that is recurrent, like it stops and it starts, it stops and it starts, and you don't seem to have an end to it, you need to get to the bottom of it.
Wow.
And getting to the bottom of it is a process. It is not anything that you can do like in a day's time. It is a process, it's a journey. And the ones who have decided to go the journey of dealing with those kinds of altars have definitely found hope and resolution in their marriages.
Wow.
So it matters exactly whatever it is that you're going through. But even in that case, whether it's an altar or not an altar, the question of forgiveness still stands, because it's very clear from God that we are supposed to forgive.
True.
So many times, uncountable times, because you and I know that even you and me are forgiven by God every other time. And we find ourselves doing the very wrong things that we did. You said, I will not do this. You ended up doing it. So if God still forgives you, knowing that we have still gone wrong, then who are we not to forgive? Even those ones who are held with some altars.
Wow. Guys, are you learning from Lucy? I'm learning. And I feel like I got so much to learn from Lucy. Thank you very much, Lucy. And as we conclude our show, I would like you to tell us now about revenge. Is it good or is it bad?
Revenge in itself, like I said, is a person choosing to harm the other for a wrong that they did. Revenge is a death trap for the one choosing the journey of revenge. Actually, it is being said that anyone who chooses to go on a journey of revenge, they should dig 2 graves. One for themselves and one for the other person that they are choosing to revenge on. So in essence, revenge is never the right thing to do. You have seen, like in most cases of the people that I get to interact with, the ones who have decided to go do exactly what the person did in their state, they have not found peace.
Wow.
they have always come back to realize that it was never a solution in the first place. So since revenge is not a solution, so what is the right thing to do? The right thing is to get to the bottom of why you are in a problem and resolve it with the right solution. Getting to the bottom of your problem. Understanding why you are in the problem in the first place, acknowledging that indeed you are having a problem, and then coming up with the most appropriate ways to resolve the problem that you are in is the only way that you will find peace. So revenge
is not
a solution.
Wow.
Not a solution.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lucy. May God bless you. I think we will come back again on this revenge topic. Would like to know what the Bible says about vengeance. Would like to see, we are told everything, even the life we are living, we are not the first people to live it. Other people live it. Exactly. So I think we'll still come back just to encourage people, just to show people that you're not the first person to be to go through this, to be offended, and there is a better way of doing this without revenging. We also have some people in the Bible who left everything to God and how God fought for them. Yeah, so thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.